G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an Instigating 10mm pistol with plus 10% damage whilst aiming and plus 1 perception, major and minor legendary effects respectively. So an Instigating Hitman's 10mm pistol, we're going to be tuning this weapon to be the highest damage per shot, so we've got the hardened receiver going for a gunslinger approach. You'll also notice how I've got a recon scope on there, and that is because I'm going to be using chameleon armor along with this. And when you aim down sights with chameleon armor, unless you've got a scope which will transition you into like a TV vision sort of thing, you won't be able to aim all that easily, so that'll be helping me out a little bit, plus adding an extra bit of accuracy stat to increase my chance to hit in VATS a little bit, ever so slightly. It's not that much. Unfortunately, it is going to bump up our AP usage, but I've got decent chameleon armor with some AP refresh bits, so that'll sort of help counterbalance it, I suppose. So the plus 1 perception is actually a decent thing too, because that'll just give us extra VATS accuracy. So, you know, on paper it doesn't seem like a horrible weapon, so let's see what we can do with this. Firstly, we're going to actually spec this out, and since it's a semi-auto pistol, gunslinger is what we want to choose. Probably could get better DPS out of a guerrilla-based variant of this, but whatever. We'll see what we can do with just the old semi-auto. So now we're getting a whopping 64 damage. Okay, welcome to Black Hawk Down and some super mutants. Unfortunately, the vertibirds are going to make it a problem, you know, getting consistent sneak criticals, so yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. So what I might do first is just take out these vertibots. As you can tell, I'm not getting the best damage here, but the vertibots are actually kind of squishy. It feels like this thing is more powerful than it's letting on, because the fact that it can take out a vertibot like that in a couple of shots is interesting. Just zero in on that. Now it's only left for the tanky ass thing. Here it is. Just quickly take that out. Okay, we're back into not having to shoot everything. And this one isn't going to get the instigating legendary effect on him, but we're going to shoot him anyway. So the damage right now at full health isn't all that impressive. Obviously we are missing out on stuff like adrenal reaction to boost that. And if I was going to be using this nice one, back into caution at will. Thank you, chameleon armor. And then when I uncloak, they see me. When I cloak again, they don't see me. So that's pretty good. It's nice and consistent. And when I get the sneak criticals with the instigating bonus, it's a 4 times damage multiplier. And when I'm aiming down sights, that's an extra 40% more damage, which is not quite enough to one-shot the super mutants, but, you know, I am killing these guys pretty easily, and at least I've got a nuke card served up on a silver platter for me. That is garbage. That's something that Murmur would give me, actually. Alright, let's open this up. Alright, so there's another super mutant over there. What I'll do is just try to shoot him in the face a little bit. So with the sneak criticals, even though we're only getting a 2 times multiplier, we're not making terrible time out of this. Unfortunately, these guys are all damaged because of the vertibots, and I was actually not able to use the legendary instigating effect at all. Shut up, doggo. Alright, go back into sneak mode, and we can one-shot a turret, which apparently, according to the game, is a robot. And did I just one-shot that guy too? That's interesting. Huh. 632 damage is enough to kill them. I thought these guys had a health of, yeah, I thought they had a little bit over 700 health or something, but alright, we've got a little bit of adrenal reaction now, which is going to boost our damage up slightly, and with all of that stuff, 102 damage with our adrenaline at maximum. I've also got the crit damage T again because it's good. Okay, let's get started on the inside here. Just gonna continue to sneak as normal. I like how ridiculous this thing looks with the with the big old microwave on the top. It looks like it's a little bit front heavy there. Just shoot you like that. Should be under the safety of our cloaks now. Yeah, being able to aim when you're cloaked is pretty good, I guess. I quite like it. And the health bars seem to be jumping around a little bit. Caution, thank you. You can see the damage difference when I'm not getting the sneak attack and the critical at the same time with the instigating legendary effect. But when I do, it's pretty good. And as for like a quick gun fu option, this thing is actually proving to be pretty powerful. At least against super mutants, which are, even on the worst weapons, they are half manageable. But we're not being shot up too much. It's got a suppressor, which is a pretty big advantage. And it looks like what I kind of want to do is just spam this thing in VATS as much as possible. Now I could be getting much better bang for my buck in terms of the amount of criticals that I could be getting if I was wearing unyielding armor, but I wanted to do something different. A little bit of chameleon armor is always fun to play around with. Gun free bonus helps me get 827 on that guy. Oh yeah. Much more consistent than any revolvers, just the base damage without the sneak criticals and everything is a little bit lower than what you'd see out of revolvers, but still like it better. The mag size being at 12, double than the revolvers, unless you've got the quad legendary effect, which helps. There's one just there. Shoot him in the face. Getting that nice 10% bonus along with that. It all synergizes quite well. Like normally the Hitman's effect is something you just kind of think is just meh. But if you've got the sneak criticals, the aiming down sights, the instigating legendary effects, you can sort of get away with it, at least in terms of, oh yeah, you think you can take me? No, well, he's almost got me to nerd rage, which means our damage should be spiking at this point. And with a cheeky critical to the face, that one's got a minigun, that's scary. And we're back into caution already. Now, I should actually show off my armor, shouldn't I? I'll do that in a second. That was bad, but he's got a hammer, so he's gonna have to run up to me. And we are currently dealing with a broken arm right now, but I think you get the point of this thing. I'm not gonna bother to go in there. We've seen what this thing can do to a bunch of super mutants. Let's not drag this out any longer than it has to go, and we'll just take a look at the damage before we move on. 116, not really impressive in the slightest, is it? But we're still making it work somehow. Okay, so I've altered the build a little bit. I've pulled Serendipity for 4-leaf clover, which will help us get more criticals when we've got a luck of, what, it'd be 16 right now. Let's see. No, it's at 20. I think it might be the luck bullhead. Maybe that's not showing. But anyways, yeah, 89 damage at Nerd Rage and armor. I was going to show this off before. So I've got a bunch of chameleon things. You'll notice that they're all shadowed. And I am aware that shadow doesn't work on anything but leather. I've got one leather bit, but you know, when Bethesda gets around to fixing that little inconsistency in 4 to 5 months' time, we'll be like, yay, I'm glad I kept my chameleon stuff. To be honest, I don't want to farm any more than I have to, because farming in this game is repetitive RNG nonsense that I don't want to deal with. I'd much rather just shoot stuff with cool guns. So yeah, AP is coming back nice and quickly. We kind of have to play this a little bit slower than normal, but I'm not having too much trouble taking out these ghouls as is. Like I said before, having the ability to sneak and everything is pretty good. And was that 460 when I aimed down sights instead of the 410? Let me just check that out for a second. On the, I think it's on the gangrenous ones. So there's one right there. We'll just go for a torso shot. 431 with the sneak critical. We'll find another gangrenous one. Aim down sights for a bit. That one's already had health taken off him. Yeah, 460. So there you can see you get an extra, what, 40 damage out of the Hitman's legendary effect. And when you are dealing with a 10mm pistol with a base damage of, what, 116, the 40 is rather significant. So, you know, it's nothing compared to some of the other weapons I've had, but for what it's worth, I'm kind of making it work right now. The build set up in a way that actually benefits me quite well. And we're done here. That was a particularly clean run, actually. Not bad. Then again, it's currently during the daytime, so even if I did have full chameleon shadowed leather, well, it wouldn't be doing much in terms of shadowed for doing anything. We can one mag swan, that's not too bad. Okay, so I was originally thinking that this thing might fall apart a little bit when it comes to attacking enemies with a large hit bar, where I can't, you know, diminish most of the health with a sneak attack critical in one shot, but, you know, since this thing has a suppressor, I can just keep getting the 2x multiplier, which is pretty good, and I can kind of snipe with this thing because I've got crack shot, and that's a pretty useful perk. Someone actually pointed out that I had the same range on my 10mm pistol as I had with the radium rifle, and I wasn't even aiming down sights at the time, so yeah. In terms of a sniper type weapon, could the 10mm pistol be sort of a sleeper? maybe. It's certainly a much more ammo efficient way if you're getting much more damage per shot to run the 10mm pistol, but there you go, 742 with a chest on that Mirelurk. That seemed to get him up. What I'm going to do is just going to take out the Queen without using that. So we'll see what we can do, eh? No point in even bothering to hold my breath. I can just keep on firing. This is not like the recoil. The precision is going to matter all that much. And we are done, and no damage over time was ever given to us, which is good. We seem to be doing pretty well. Okay, so I'm keen to do more sniping with my 10mm pistol. Is that one over there? Oh wow, that damage. That's impressive. You don't expect that kind of damage at range with a 10mm pistol, but there you go. Here's some more doggos. 629 for that shot. 389. Well, I mean, we've kind of got baby puppies, basically. These guys are nowhere near of a threat, so we'll quickly blaze through these guys, and then we can get to the bats. Speaking of bats, it's a Halloween camo. There's another Halloween camo for the assault rifle. It's got bats on it, which is funny. It's like context sensitive. Maybe I'll clean test an assault rifle one of these days. It's got to be a good one, though. Okay, it's been a pretty good run so far, but the question is whether this thing falls apart when taking out bats, and it might. A couple of things about the bats that other enemies aren't doing, or aren't capable of, is flying around very quickly, which is, I mean, it's not too hard to track everything's hit scan, but range is more of an important thing, and if you don't kill it fast enough, they'll quickly... Hang on, I might get killed by Rejuvenated here. Might just do a quick stim pack. Yeah, you're not going to kill me, you bastard. Oh, it's going to land. Well, that's a shame for you, because you're basically going to die. But yeah, if you can't kill these guys quick enough, and their Scorched Orb that they just kind of conjure out of nowhere comes out and gets ya, then you're in a world of hurt, because you've got 4, 5, 6 targets maybe, all punching at you, shooting at you, damaging you at the same time, and whatever, I don't have Rejuvenated, I'm invincible, I'm fine. If I could take the Queen without, completely disregarding Rejuvenated like I did, I think I can do it to the baby Scorch Beasts, and even with the extra range perks that I can get out of this thing, that's a cheap move, Scorch Beast. I really don't like that crop dusting attack, but whatever, it is what it is, right? And I'm not gonna heal anymore because, well... fucking Rejuvenated, eh?